Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am scrapbooking a card. Now, this is a card that I received from my work last year, and at first I thought I would use this piece of paper that I got in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit and do something where it was overlapping and I thought the green would play, and this was close enough to a red I could make it work. Then I thought this is really starting to get Christmassy, and I don't like the teal was there, so the teal was there too. So I thought this definitely could work. And then I thought, you know what? I'm actually gonna pop this back in the envelope and leave it like this. And I do this a lot with like extra journaling or a photo flip, where this is going to hang out of the page protector, so you can like pull it out, open it up, read the card, and still see the layout. So this paper is from my Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I pulled 2 pieces of cardstock from my stash. This is Coordinations, and I'm not sure where this one came from. And I was actually looking for black cardstock to go with the black on this paper. However, I am completely out of 12 by 12 black cardstock. So that means I'm out of craft and black 12 by 12 cardstock, and that is a serious problem. So I'm going to have to go to the store and fix that. So I'm using this dark gray. I'm also going to be using this stencil that came in my kit. You can see it there. And I've pulled my Bow Bunny glitter paste because if you've seen any of my recent videos, you are knowing that I am loving glitter paste right now. All right, let's see what I can do. Okay, so what I did was cut down that beautiful kind of painted pattern paper and mounted it on top of my really dark gray cardstock. And then I mounted that on top of the green cardstock. Now I'm just looking at my stencil and figuring out where exactly this glitter paste needs to go so that you can still see part of the glitter paste through the stencil, and also the card like will cover it up enough, kind of like I'm treating this envelope with this card inside like a photo. So I decide to just go for it and get my glitter paste down and into my stencil. Now I did not tape this stencil down with washi tape like I normally do, and it does get a little messy because of it. Like the stencil moves a little bit, and I also play with it a little bit too much and smush it into the lines a little bit too much instead of just getting more out of the jar. And it's going to spread underneath of the stencil a little bit. And that's okay. Like, I end up embracing it and going for the messy look. So like I said, I should have just put more on the stencil instead of smushing it so like completely through. Now, the good thing is that the glitter paste will dry pretty quickly. So I grab my heat tool just a little bit, just to dry it just ever so slightly. And then, well, eventually after I figure out where it's got to go. Here we go. Now I'm going to grab this heat tool. And I'm leaving in this whole process. Usually I cut the heating out. But this time I'm just going to leave it in so you guys can just get kind of the whole picture of what I do, because most of the time I cut out this, and I also cut out when I clear emboss. But I'm going to leave that in today for no other reason than just to try something different, I guess. And I'm just touching this, and it dries pretty quickly. Like, the glitter paste dries quickly anyway, but then when I add the heat tool to it, it really dries quickly. So the only thing I'm doing here is lining this up so that it will be in the perfect position for me to add more of these glitter lines. And please pardon my head. I really wasn't thinking about what you were seeing from up above. I was just worried about getting my stencil placed in a decent way. And that right there, I totally messed it up, and I had to peek underneath to see how horrible it looked, and I decided it didn't look horrible enough where I had to wipe it off, or attempt to wipe it off and start over. So we've got that going on there, and I get a little bit of extra, and you can see how it's getting really messy right there. it's because I'm not taking the time to prep the paper, and I'm not taking the time to prep my stencil, and I know I've already got stuff leaking through the back side, and I'm not wiping it off in between. Like, this is totally my fault why it's looking messy. Like, and I know it is, and I'm just deciding to go for it. So I just go ahead and add a little bit more glitter paste, and that's going to be at the top and also at the bottom, so that I have this longer rectangle instead of this shorter one. And look at that mess. Like, I'm like, yep, this is messy. And I don't even dry it anymore. I'm like, let's just get this done. Like, I'm just going to slap this stencil on here. We're going to get this black glitter paste through here, and it's going to be finished. Like, I'm done with it. So here I actually do turn off the camera because I need to go clean off my hands and my craft knife and my stencil. And then, as you can see, before I turn the camera back on, I went and put a bunch of splatters on. Now this is Black Velvet from Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and there's also a green shade from Maya Road, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure what the name of that is. So here is my kit, and I just kind of dumped it out. And I'm thinking I need some sort of vertical element to kind of cover up that really messy portion of my glitter paste. Like, it's a little bit too messy. So I cut off this and use that very highly scientific method of marking it off with a fingernail indent of where I need to cut it. And I decide to ink the edges just because I do have kind of this messy look going on. And this is just the cut off from it's the back of that like painted looking paper. And then this little piece is distressed wood, and that is from a 6x6 piece of paper that came in the kit. And it's kind of white, so I just take my distress ink pad and kind of rub it over the top, and it just tinges it just a little bit so that it's not so very white. And I decide that, I'm going to move my card here down just a little bit, and I'm going to use this doily, but the doily is a little too white for me as well, and I'm like, I need to do something to it. So I'm just thinking, like, what do I do with this? Do I spray it? And I say, nope, I'm not going to spray it. What I'm going to do is take some distress ink, and I'm just going to ink it. Like, I'm going to just make that happen. And instead of getting out my non-stick sheet, craft mat, or a paint palette, I just decide to do it right on top of the Ziploc bag. And I'm okay with it. And it isn't even. Like, I'm not taking the time to make sure the color is even and everything's fine. Like, it's uneven and splotchy. And like I said, I'm kind of embracing the messy right now, and I'm okay with this. Like, I think that this looks great paired with the glittery stencil and also this background paper that I have going on. And it's just a matter of getting it positioned to where I like it, and I like it right there. So that makes me happy. And then I decide I'm committing to where I want this card to go. And that makes me happy. So I just make sure that I rub that on. And I'm looking underneath, and I'm like, do I want to cover this up? Like, do I want to cover it up and make it look pretty when you flip it up? And I just decide, no, I'm not going to. Like, that's not part of the page to me, so I'm not even going to worry about it. What I do decide is that I need a little bit of oomph. Like, there needs to be a little extra something, and I have pulled out these square stickers, and these are from the Chamel Glitter Girl collection, and I got that sheet of square stickers in the kit. And I'm just kind of like looking around and trying to decide what I want to do. And obviously flipping the card up gives me a little bit of an idea. And I keep pulling those puffy stickers because I like them so much. And then I decide that I'm just going to use this red tag that says enjoy. And it's close enough of a match that it works for me. And I'm looking at this 6x6 cut apart sheet. I'm trying to see if there's something on here I can use, and then I'm also just kind of moving around the Enjoy to figure out exactly where I want to start building stuff. And I decide to use this ampersand, so it says and enjoy. My title was going to be like prep and enjoy or something like that, and because that's what this card was about. It's like a thank you for all your hard work as we're prepping in, going into the fourth quarter, you know, that kind of thing. So I just decide to ink the edges, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want it, but I figure that there needs to be a little bit of texture over here, and I like the glitter, so I'm going to add these plus signs throughout the page, and then I'm going to just because I've got that glitter arrow down there on the bottom, I feel like it's got to kind of, you know, bring some glitter to the top. So what I'm doing right now is using a Versamark ink pad, and this is a tiny square ink pad, and it's pretty dry. Like I have to really press and do it multiple times to get it to go on. And then I just dip it into some ultrafine clear embossing powder with my little tweezers here, and I just heat it with my heat tool until it is nice and melted. And I want a little bit more of a smooth texture, so I just add a little bit more of the embossing powder. And that's really all I do. And then what I'm doing here is just embossing. I had embossed right where the tweezers were holding onto the paper. And I was trying to figure out what adhesive I wanted to add to the sticker, because I'm finding that the Fancy Pants puffy stickers don't really stick. It's like it leaves half of the adhesive on the sheet, on the release sheet. So I just go ahead and nestle that Enjoy right on the little pieces of the ampersand right there. And I decide that I'm going to use these little letter stickers that came in the kit. I honestly have no idea where they came from, what brand they are, but I'm going to make it say enjoy the season, and that's just me counting the letters and figuring out where it's going to end. So if I needed to, I could adjust where I was putting the letters down. And I'm using a mix of colors because the paper is so very colorful. And I'm okay that it goes out that far underneath the banner, and I just decide to bring up the little plus sign just so that the title has this triangle of plus signs around it. And now I'm like still kind of messing around. I want to add things, like I need something, it needs a little something. And I'm trying to decide if it's going to be these puffy stickers or what it's going to do. And I decide to add these colored hearts because these colors match all the colors that are in the background paper. And it's just a matter of figuring out what colors I want where and what looks good to me. And I decide that I'm just moving them around a lot. And do I make a decision on this? Yes, I like how that little heart nestles right in there for that ampersand. And then I pull out these beautiful mess stickers, and they are speech bubble stickers, and one says hello. So I go ahead and tuck that up under the enjoy. So now I have hello and enjoy the season instead of just and enjoy the season. And then I decide that I'm going to bring the same stickers down here to this bottom edge, and I'm just going to put 2016 down there. And that's just, I mean, this is in my 2016 album. If you're flipping through, you know that this entire series of albums that you're looking for is going to be 2016. But you never know. I mean, a page could fall out, or somebody could take a page out and want, who knows. So I put the date on it. And I say albums of 2016 because this is insane. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2016 is going to have 6 albums. 6. I think in a couple videos ago I said it was going to have 4, but no, it's actually going to have 6. It's going to have 6 albums. 2016 has 6 albums. And that's not even including the Disney Girls trip, which will probably be 2. So 2016 will actually be 8 albums. And that's almost to the point of ridiculousness, but I don't care. I mean, honestly, I don't care. I scrapbook to like have this chronological history, and we reference it at almost like a history book, but I also do it because I like playing with pretty things and making pretty pages and touching paper, and it makes me happy, so I'm going to do it. Now that I've finished messing around and running my mouth, I pulled out these like black gemstones, and they're from Want to Scrap, which I ordered off of joanns.com, and there's different sizes, so there's bigger ones and smaller ones and really teeny ones. And I'm just placing them around the page, and after I do that, I believe that's going to wrap it up. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Go ahead, hit that like button if you liked it. Hit the subscribe if you're interested in seeing all my videos. And leave a comment if you'd like to talk to me. I'll catch you guys next time.